Hello students, welcome back to my channel and to our English grammar class again. In today's lesson, we are going to learn an important topic in grammar, that is the noun case. Now let's start today's lesson on case and its kinds in grammar. This is the slide 1. Now let us understand what case means in grammar. Case shows the role of a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. When a noun or a pronoun is used as the subject of a verb, it is said to be in the nominative case. Clear? And when a noun or a pronoun is used as the object of a verb, it is said to be in the objective or accusative case. Now let us see some examples here. In the sentence John threw a stone, John is the subject, so it is in the nominative case, and stone is the object, so it is in the objective case. Clear? In the sentence the horse kicked the boy, horse is the subject and boy is the object. So remember, the subject is in the nominative case and the objective is in the objective or accusative case. Now let us learn how to find the subject and object in a sentence. To find the nominative case or subject, ask who or what before the verb. Always remember before the verb. And to find the accusative case or object, ask whom or what after the verb. Clear? For example, Rama helped Hari. Ask who helped. Here the answer is Rama. So Rama is the nominative case or the subject. Then ask whom did Rama help? The answer is Hari. So Hari is in the objective or accusative case and it is the object. This is the easiest way to identify the subject and object in a sentence. Clear? Now let's proceed to the next slide. Here let us learn about direct object and indirect object. Some verbs take two objects in a sentence. The direct object is the thing that is affected by the action and the indirect object is the person to whom or for whom something is done. So always remember, direct object is the thing and indirect object is the person. Let us see an example. Rama gave Hari a ball. Here Hari is the person who receives something. So Hari is the indirect object here and he is a person. Okay? And a ball is the thing that is given. So a ball is the direct object because it is a thing. Remember this important point. The indirect object usually comes immediately after the verb. So in the sentence Rama gave Hari a ball, Hari is the indirect object because it comes immediately after the verb. Clear? Now let's go to the next slide. Yes, let us learn about the possessive or genitive case. Look at the right side of the slide. The possessive case shows ownership or possession. It tells us to whom something belongs. Clear? Look at the example given here. This is Rama's umbrella. Here Rama's shows ownership. So Rama's is in the possessive case. The possessive case answers the question whose. Clear? Now look at the key rule on the right side. We use apostrophe and s for singular nouns and for irregular plural nouns. We use only an apostrophe for regular plural nouns ending in s. Clear? Now move to the left side of the slide. Here are some more examples of the possessive case. For singular nouns, we add apostrophe and s. The girl's bag means the bag belongs to the girl. The cat's tail means the tail of the cat. For plural nouns ending in s, we add only apostrophe. For example, the boys' classroom. Just look at the apostrophe used after s, not before s. So the boys' classroom means the classroom of the boys. The girls' uniforms means the uniforms of the girls. Here also see the apostrophe placed after the s. Okay. For plural nouns not ending in s, we add apostrophe s. Let us understand how the possessive case is formed. Look at the table on the slide. This possessive case shows ownership or belonging. First, look at the left column, that is noun type. Here we see three types of nouns: singular nouns, plural nouns ending in s, and plural nouns not ending in s. Now move to the middle column, that is rule. For a singular noun, we add apostrophe s. For a plural noun ending in s, we add only an apostrophe. And for a plural noun not ending in s, we again add apostrophe and s. Now look at the right column, that is examples. For a singular noun, boy becomes boys' books. Just look at the apostrophe used here. Okay. For a plural noun ending in s, boys becomes boys' hostel. Look at the apostrophe here. Again. For a plural noun not ending in s, men becomes men's club. Okay. So use of apostrophe is important. Look at the use here. Okay. So remember, apostrophe s for singular nouns, apostrophe only for regular plural ending in s, and apostrophe s again for irregular plurals. This is how we form the possessive case, which always answers the question which. Clear? Now let's go to the next slide. Now let us look at some important exceptions in the formation of the possessive case. First exception is hissing sounds. Let's look at the examples. For conscience sake, the S sound is here, and so we use apostrophe after the noun only. Okay. Similarly, for goodness sake, for justice sake, for Jesus sake. Now look at the next exception, compound nouns and titles. When a noun has a long title or a compound expression, the apostrophe is added to the last word, not the main word. Look at the example. The king of Bhutan's visit. The Prime Minister of Mauritius' speech. Just look at the use of apostrophe here. Even though the titles are long, the possessive apostrophe s comes at the end of the phrase. So remember, some nouns follow special rules, and these are called exceptions in possessive formation. Clear? Now let's go to the next slide. Now let us understand the difference between joint possession and separate possession. First, look at the red box. Joint possession means one thing is owned together by two or more people. In this case, we add apostrophe s only to the last noun. Look at the examples here. Karim and Salim's bakery. Look at the use of apostrophe here. This means one bakery owned by both Karim and Salim. Ramo and Sita's house. This means one house shared by Rama and Sita. Similarly, Sam and Hari's business. This means one business run together by both Sam and Hari. So remember, one thing plus shared ownership is equal to apostrophe s on the last noun only. Remember it, on the last noun. Okay. Now look at the blue box. Separate possession means different things are owned separately. Here we add apostrophe s to each noun. Look at these examples. Raja Rao's and R.K. Narayan's novels. This means different novels written by each author. Similarly, Rama's and Sita's books. It means Rama has his books and Sita has her books. My brother's and my sister's room. This means separate rooms for each. Clear? Now let us see the uses of possessive case. The possessive case is mainly used with names of living beings. For example, the governor's bodyguard, the lion's legs. Here, the possessor is a living being, so using apostrophe s is correct. But the possessive case is not usually used with lifeless objects. For lifeless things, we generally use the op structure instead of apostrophe s. Look at these examples. The table's leg is incorrect, but the leg of the table is correct. The book's cover is incorrect, but the cover of the book is correct. So remember this rule. Living beings use apostrophe s and lifeless objects use op structure. This will help you to choose the correct possessive form in sentences. Clear? Now let's proceed to the next slide. Now let us look at some important exceptions in the possessive case. First, possessive forms are sometimes used with personified objects. Personified objects are non-living things treated like living beings. For example, India's heroes, nature's lodge, fortune's favorite, our duty's call, our death's door. Here, ideas like India, nature, fortune, duty, and death are treated as if they were persons. So the possessive case is correctly used here. Clear? Next, the possessive case is also used with expressions of time, space, and weight. Let us discuss. Look at these examples. A day's march, a week's holiday, a stone's throw, a foot's length, a pound's weight. In all these expressions, the possessive form shows measurement or duration. So remember, the possessive case is used not only for ownership but also for personified objects and for expressions of time, space and weight. Clear? Now let's go to the next slide. Now let's learn about another special use of possessive case. The possessive case is often used to denote a place of business or a building. Here the noun refers not to a person but to the place connected with that person. Look at these examples, you will be very clear. The baker's means the baker's shop. My uncle's means my uncle's house. St. Paul's means St. Paul's church. St. Joseph's means St. Joseph's school. So the noun is understood here even though it is not mentioned. Now let's look at some common phrases using the possessive case. You should remember these phrases. Okay? At his fingers' ends means having complete knowledge. For mercy's sake is used while making a request. To his heart's content means fully or completely. At his wit's end means being very confused or helpless. A boat's crew means the people working on a boat. Now let us understand the difference between the possessive form and the of phrase. Sometimes both forms are possible, but their meanings are slightly different. The possessive form mainly shows ownership or possession. The of phrase shows a more general relationship and often gives extra information. Look at the first example. The Prime Minister's reception. This means the reception held by the Prime Minister. Now let us look at the second example. The reception of the Prime Minister. This means the way the Prime Minister was welcomed. Just see the difference. So remember, even if the words look similar, the meaning can change. Use this possessive to show ownership and use the of phrase for a general or descriptive relation. Clear? Now let's go to the next slide. Nouns in apposition. Now let us learn about nouns in apposition. Look at the right side of the slide. When one noun follows another noun to describe or explain it, the second noun is said to be in apposition to the first noun. Look at the example first. Ramo, our captain, made 50 runs. Here our captain describes Ramo. Both refer to the same person. So our captain is a noun in apposition to Ramo. Now remember this important rule. A noun in apposition is always in the same case as the noun it explains. Clear? Now look at the left side of the slide for more examples. Kabir, the great reformer, was a weaver. Here the great reformer is in apposition to Kabir and both are in the nominative case. The second example. Yesterday I met your uncle, the doctor. Here the doctor is in apposition to your uncle and both are in accusative or objective case. The third example. Have you seen Ganguly, the artist's drawings? Here the artists is in apposition to Ganguly and it is in genitive or possessive case. So remember, a noun in apposition adds more information, refers to the same person or thing and stays in the same case as the noun before it. Clear? Now let's go to the next slide. Let's have a quick review. Let's look at three important cases in English grammar. First, the nominative case. This is used for the subject of a verb, the one doing the action. Clear? Next, the accusative case or the objective case. This is used for the object of a verb, the one receiving the action. And finally, the genitive or possessive case. This shows ownership or belonging. A key point to remember here, in English, nouns do not change form for nominative or accusative. The difference is shown only by word order in the sentence. Finally, thanks for watching. Kindly consider subscribing my channel. I will come with new and informative videos like this in each episode. Do your work, believe in God and stay positive.